Cold open question of the week, Kaz.
What's up, Shoes?
Do you see that Curtis Axel got arrested?
I did see that, yes.
It was apparently a week ago. Nobody's making a big deal of it, which is the right thing to do. He's not a WWE employee. He's just a former wrestler. But we're going to talk about it anyway. This comes hot on the heels of the Ludwig Kaiser arrest. If you were booking WWE and Joe Hennig was one of your stars, how would you turn this this McDonald's drive-through drunken incident into a storyline?
I wouldn't.
You don't touch it?
I wouldn't touch it at all.
Oh, come on.
At all. I wouldn't.
You don't think
at all.
You don't think it'd be funny if he just like rammed his car into the McDonald's? I don't know what happened. I'm imagining now. If he just rammed his car, like, you know, just headlong into the McDonald's, like broke down a wall, caused a wreck. Everybody's going insane. And he just gets off and like dusts off his shoulder. And he's just like, absolutely perfect. And just like walks off. That wouldn't, no.
The one time he invokes the name of his much more famous and better at wrestling father shouldn't be right after a DUI. That would be pretty.
Yeah. Do you think he's tough. Like, when he's getting pulled over or whatever, he's like, do you know who my dad is? Like, yes, like, no, Mr. Perfect. No, he's dead. Did you see the picture, the mugshot though? I don't understand how this dude, as a bald man, is like the same level of baldness as he was in WWE. Is this not weird that he has like the same, that he hasn't receded more? This is maybe just a personal thing. Anyway, best of luck to you, Joe Hennig. We've all been there. McDonald's drive-through late at night. You've never been in the. I don't even have a mugshot. DUI, but you've been in a drive-through when you're under the influence, so you shouldn't have been there.
I don't have a mugshot.
But okay. Yeah, so you're a New York kid. It's like, how often are you in a drive-through? I guess growing up in Texas, it's just like a rite of passage.
Yeah,
there is a widespread rumor that the Whataburger strawberry shakes either cured drunkenness or just totally like made you untestable for drunkenness. There's a lot of late night Whataburger shakes in my life. Taquitos are good too. Anyway, let's start the show.
Masked Man Show. Masked Man Show. Masked Man Show. Masked Man Show.
Welcome to the Masked Man Show with Kaz. That was shoot cough. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, Shoes. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing good. It's Clash in Italy this weekend.
Another premium live event.
Does this count as a Crooks and Castles? Is it just Crooks and Castles : Italy?
Yeah, I think we've lost the plot with the Crooks and Castles. You know what I mean? Clash in the Crooks and Castles place. Definitely felt better for Scotland or England or wherever that was.
Yeah, it made a lot more sense.
But
it was called Clash in the Castle.
Yeah, any other euphemism I would have made about Clash in Italy would have been definitely racially insensitive. So I'm just gonna not do it.
like Italian, racist against Italians.
Oh, 1,000,000%. I was like, hey, where you going there? I'm sure they don't talk like that. Actually, talk like that in Italy, but.
No, zero of them talk like that in Italy. That's a Brooklyn accent that you're doing.
Yeah. They don't. Hey,
I guess, yeah, sort of.
That's not how they speak in Italy. I'm aware.
It's more of a thing, a Hollywood creation. But yeah,
got it. TV is watching once again.
I mean, listen, our Italian American wrestlers teach us to do the various like cliched Italian hand gestures and stuff. So
can't
blame us for being racially insensitive.
Tony D can't even get the hometown pop here.
We should crowdsource. Can we crowdsource before we get to the wrestling content? Can we crowdsource your graduation speech?
Oh, right.
So Kaz is doing the valedictor. What is it? The graduation.
Commencement speech.
The commencement speech. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. At your old high school, which is great. Congratulations. And I was trying to think of what wrestling promo or catchphrase he should work in. What do you think?
I'm not working in a wrestling phrase.
But that's what they know you for. What about you don't think it would be like just do exactly what you're gonna do and just be like, But most importantly, appreciate the time you have here because soon you'll be old. And, once you grow up, those are hard times, baby. And then just go into the whole thing. Just like, you don't know hard times, Dad. Just start cutting a promo on all the kids.
You could always throw in a little, you're the cream of the crop at the end. Or something like that. You know what I mean? Like there's always
Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour.
I was gonna see if I can get the students to acknowledge me, like as soon as.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like Patrick School, be like, acknowledge me.
What do you think if you just opened up like that? Do you think people would get it, right?
Would people get it? I don't know. I'm crazy enough to try it. I'm crazy enough to try. I mean, I'm like, Patrick School, acknowledge me. And if anyone acknowledges me.
It's not like they have to know the second half of a catchphrase. You say acknowledge me. I think the general reaction of a crowd of people is to cheer.
All right. So if I tell my high school to acknowledge me, if one person stands up and puts his finger in the air, I'm dedicating my entire speech to that one person.
Okay. That's a good call.
Madam.
Invite him on the show.
You are coming with me to Summer Jam. You got free tickets just for acknowledging me.
Oh my God, that's fantastic stuff. Any news this week before we get to Fabian Eichner signed with TNA? Good job by him. We were just talking about him the other day.
Yeah.
I know what I wanted to talk about. You see this El Grande Americano mural that is now
I did see it.
How can we get a wrestling mural culture going here in America better? It feels like such a we should. I'm an art director and a wrestling fan. I feel like I can make this happen. What do you think? Should we start just like where would be the spot? Should we do it in New York, or do we do it in Greenwich because that's where, or Stamford or whatever because that's WWE's hometown?
Oh gosh, I think you do it in New York. Who wants to go to Stamford?
Nobody.
Stanford. The only nice thing about Stanford is literally the snack bar at WWE headquarters.
Oh, you mean Snackdown?
Yeah, Snackdown. That's the only place. Like if they created an actual Snackdown in Connecticut that like regular people could go to, like it would do numbers. Like if they opened like a little pop-up restaurant and like just had, Planet Hollywood it up like and make it like their thing in Connecticut.
They should do that.
I think it would do well.
Why don't they just
I'd rather than do that than the Hulk Hogan grill that they're building across the street from the Garden. Like the Slam restaurant, whatever it's called.
They're turning it into the Hulk Hogan grill?
I don't know if it's called the Hulk Hogan grill, but there's a wrestling themed restaurant opening up across the street from Madison Square Garden. Not the Square Circle Cafe. Shout out to Square Circle Cafe. Theirs is dope. But there is one opening up. Yeah, Hulk Hogan's Slam Sports Bar opening right across the street from Madison Square Garden. And you can see it from the Garden. You can see lots of mustaches and the red bandanas.
Is it weird that his name is on it, but he's no longer with us?
No, I think it's going to sound kind of insensitive, but he's definitely worth more dead than he is alive.
Well, sure, but it would make logical sense to me if they opened up a Hogan's Beach or whatever, one of the existing properties.
Oh, they got those. Yeah.
But I'm saying if they opened up one of those across the street, but to create a new concept, I guess it could have been Hogan's dying dream to make Hulk Hogan's Slam Sports Bar work. I'll go. I mean, no shortage of sports bars, or at least bars in which you can watch sports in that part of town. But hey, everybody will be there after the wrestling shows. Anyway, well, so you'd rather do that. I'm gonna figure out what the legal hoops you have to jump through to do murals are. Who should I make my first wrestling mural of?
Oh gosh, your boy
Andre?
Speedball.
No, I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do current wrestlers unless they're like big champs.
Okay.
Like legendary wrestlers.
I'd say, you know what? I think you do a good Danielson mural.
Oh, that's a good one.
He's a new legend,
Yeah. Modern legends of wrestling.
Yeah. We got enough Andre and Hulk Hogan and Machos and even Bret Harts. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's. We're done with the 90s, as the kids say, man. Let's get some new blood in there.
Fly down to Georgia, do an AJ Styles one.
There you go. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, should we do New York icons or just be like Taz is the first one? Who are they?
Oh, you'd probably get like Damian Priest in there or something.
Yeah,
right? Like,
Priest.
That's Hell's Kitchen.
A lot of those.
Statland, MJF. That's a New York.
Of course.
New York wrestling legend. There you go. MJF mural.
Matt Cardona. A lot of those ECW guys. I'm pretty like Tommy Dreamer, the Dudleys. They're all New Yorkers.
Yo, question: Has MJF
Kingston?
already surpassed? Has he surpassed Matt Cardona as the greatest New York wrestler? He's already. Who was the greatest?
I'm going to Google. Is it? Are we counting like the New York metropolitan area or New York State?
I would go the 5 boroughs in Long Island. Like if you're from like Rochester, I'm not counting that. I'm not counting that. Okay, let's see.
Wrestlers well, Long Island counts. Well, you know who was born on. You know who was born in Manhasset, Long Island.
Who?
Chris Jericho.
Really?
Yep.
No way.
His dad was playing for the whatevers at the time. Rangers? Was his dad playing for the Rangers?
Yeah, pops right up. Chris Jericho, Mick Foley, Taz, Damian Priest, and MJF.
Oh, Foley. I didn't think Foley got it.
Yeah, Foley's got it. All right, so yeah. All right, so boom. Damn, I can't. Sorry, Matt. I wasn't trying to play you, Matt Cardona. But okay, MJF from Plainview, Chris Jericho from Manhasset, Long Island, Mick Foley,
Statlander, Kingston. Oh, here's an interesting one. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is from Glens Falls. That's not the metropolitan area, but still.
Yeah. Well, I said if you're from Rochester, it don't count, and like probably 2 of the biggest guys
who's from Rochester?
China, and rest in peace, Brody Lee. Both from Rochester, New York.
They used to always be big when they would go back there with Brody. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Paul
Brooklyn
Heyman?
Brawler, Big Bill, Damian Priest, Taz. Yeah. I don't know. Is MJF the greatest? It's between MJF and Jericho, but Jericho's a Canadian. He doesn't count. Even though he's born here. You're a Canadian, buddy.
Oh, wait.
It's between MJF and Mick Foley.
Hook? What about Hook?
It's not Hook. It's not Hook.
Why is Kerry Von Erich on this list? This is the fakest list.
But yo, Wendy Chu, Bubba Ray Dudley, JTG, Karrion Kross is he is not from New York. Are you kidding me? Where is he? Get out of here. Born in New York, New York. Got no idea.
Karrion Kross?
Yeah.
All right. He's definitely the biggest star of this list so far.
He might be in there. Wendy Chu. Love me some Wendy Chu.
She's great.
Of course, Zelina Vega, Priest, let's see. Nunzio. How did I forget about Nunzio in the FBI?
Nope. Kerry Von Erich was, from the movie. Kerry Von Erich was born in Niagara Falls.
Okay.
His dad was on the road.
Man, shout out Karrion Kross. This whole time I had no idea he was a New Yorker. I like him even more now.
Lex Luger? Buffalo, New York.
Oh, that's Buffalo.
I know. The state of New York.
And I love...
There are a lot of wrestlers who were from this. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat from the state of New York. Gorilla Monsoon. That's a good one. All right. New York's coming stronger than I thought. I kind of thought like 95% of pro wrestlers were from like Canada and Texas, and now New Jersey. There's a lot of New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Jersey's big. I think Jersey has the better crew, to be honest.
Before I moved to the Northeast, I always got New Jersey and Long Island confused for some reason, or they were all the same thing to me, and still not totally worked through that. So I get, whatever. Anyway, clashing. Where are we going? Italy coming up. What do you think? If I called you on Sunday, well, it'd have to be like super early. If I called you at like midnight on Saturday night and I was like, Kaz, I got a private jet. We're going to Italy. Are you down?
Yes, I'm down. I'll never turn down a private jet invitation ever.
What if I was like, Kaz, I got two red eye. What if I was like, I got 2 red eye tickets to New York, but to Italy, but they're free and there's some comp tickets there too.
I already said I'd go.
No, not on a PJ, just on a regular. We're taking the last Spirit Airlines flight before they officially shut down. Do you take the trip?
Oh, you said Spirit Airlines.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Absolutely not. No, thank you. I've never rode Spirit in my life, and I continue.
You know what? There's one really great thing about Spirit Airlines. Maybe more than one, but one thing that I really love. They don't have first class. They just have what they call the big seats, or had, I guess, now at the front. So it's like business class size seats. And there's only, I guess you can buy them, but nobody ever buys them because nobody ever chooses them because everyone's flying Spirit to be cheap, right? Or to save money. But so if you just go on Spirit Airlines, I can give you my cheat now, my cheat code, because now they're out of business. Just go to the check-in desk every time you're going to take a flight. Just walk in and just be like, hey, I was just checking to see if you had any big seats left. And they'll sell you a big seat for $20 or something like that. So it's like they mark it down, and those seats are so nice. All right, enough about the big seats. Let's talk about the big show, not the wrestler, the Clash in Italy. Should we jump right in?
Yeah.
We'll do some Clash picks?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. And you can tell me, and you after we go through them all, you can admit that Clash in Italy is better than WrestleMania Night 2. All right.
Oh, gosh.
World Heavyweight Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. We're starting at the top in Tribal Combat. Should we go straight to picks?
Let's go.
Who's going to win, Kaz?
I think Jacob Fatu might actually win this, but
I'm trying to think my way through
scrolling. I was literally just scrolling as we were talking, and apparently Jacob Fatu might have gotten injured.
There is a scare
in Liverpool tonight. Yeah, so
in Liverpool of all places.
Yeah, it's a possibility he might have got injured today, last night. I don't know where the time is, but I don't know.
He was in a street fight. Everybody's blaming it for the street fight, but there's always street fights and cage matches at house shows, and they're more often than not like the lowest intensity gig you could take because you're just doing like work punches for 20 minutes, you know? But
yeah, I don't know, man. I think I want to say Jacob's going to win the world title here, but I'm going to go Roman. I don't bet against Roman.
I mean, Roman is certainly the safe pick, right? Like, how could it be anybody but Roman almost? But why would you? This has been, I think they've actually successfully lured me back into the mind trap of, you know, like the original Roman Reigns tribal chief run, where he would wrestle Kevin Owens for 5 straight pay-per-views. And somehow you would talk yourself into Kevin Owens winning every time, basically because it was like, why are we still doing this if they're not going to have him win? Right. And it feels like that for Jacob Fatu. It's like, why on earth would you immediately go into the rematch when you could have just saved it for SummerSlam? You know, like, not that you only get one chance at a rematch, but you know what I mean? Like, if it seems like it's almost more of a favor to Jacob Fatu to not do the rematch right away, right? Make this seem like a time-spanning epic rivalry and put it on at a bigger stage. But we're doing it at Clash in Paris, which, like we said, I mean Clash in Italy, which, as mentioned, they're booking like it's WrestleMania. So maybe this counts. I'm in the exact same place you are. It feels like Jacob Fatu should win this based on everything, except that it's Roman Reigns and he has the title, and we're working under the assumption he's going to hold the belt through SummerSlam. Like, I don't, hard to get that out of your brain. Producer Bruce, who do you got? Who do you think is going to win?
It's hard to go against Roman Reigns. As much as I want Jacob Fatu to win, just as you said, David, every time you think like, oh, this person should be winning against Roman Reigns, they don't. It's always on a bigger scale, and for him to lose at a show like this when he really has only lost on like SummerSlams and WrestleManias recently, it's like.
But is there a chance? Okay, even if Roman wins, what are the odds that something notable happens? Like, what besides?
I think something notable is going to happen, but I just don't know what.
Like, is it possible that like the fucking could the Usos turn on Roman and join up with Jacob Fatu? Like, is there a way that there's like some big storyline development that's not Jacob winning the title?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, we are about 2 months away from SummerSlam now, so I mean, you got to.
I guess we're getting close.
No, well, yeah. King of the Ring. I think is King of the Ring the next thing. It looks like. Yeah, so I don't know. You could see nothing happen, and then
Night of Champions is next, but the next big one, I guess.
Right, but Night of Champions is that?
Night of Champions has King of the Ring. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, all right. So you know what?
Right?
I could
Doesn't
definitely
it? Am I wrong?
I could definitely see something happening or nothing happening because I think we've all sort of penciled in Femi as the King of the Ring this year, And does the King of the Ring get a title match at SummerSlam? Is that?
I think they've said that. Yeah.
If that stipulation still holds true, then nothing could probably happen. Maybe, Roman just wins. Jacob Fatu has to fall in line, and then, or he pretends to fall in line and just wows out and just does something completely unexpected. And
I hope they feud for like a year. I hope they feud for a year, and Roman wins every match, and every match is the "you must acknowledge me" stipulation. And after every match, Jacob Fatu's like, "I acknowledge you are a piece of shit." And then the next month, Roman's like, "No, he has to acknowledge me for real." And then they have another match, and he just keeps avoiding it. Anyway, I'm going to pick Jacob Fatu. You know why? Because why not? I mean, we're all in the exact same place. It's just a matter of where you want to put your vote.
Why not?
Cody Rhodes, WWE champion Cody Rhodes versus Gunther. Talk me into Gunther. I think we're all going to pick Cody. What is the case for Gunther?
The case for Gunther is Cody is getting a little boring again. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. His new thing is what is it? Easy to find, hard to beat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you want to do with that. Like, if you're going to start with that and say, like, you're hard to beat and beat one of the guys that is really one of the hardest guys to beat, unless you're like Jey Uso or Sami Zayn. Yeah, it would be easy to kind of go with Gunther because he's a guy who sort of never loses and he hasn't won the WWE Championship. And, maybe Cody chasing is fun again, but do you want to have Cody lose the title twice in 1 year? I don't know, so, I mean, that's my pitch for it. I mean, I don't know if do you want Gunther running SmackDown right now? Do you want him to be your top guy?
Well, I think, first of all, I do think it'd be interesting to see him in that role. Obviously he's been heavyweight champ of world heavyweight champ before, but to have him as the top guy, like, what does an episode of SmackDown even look like? Like, that's intriguing. And maybe that really helps the character. But I think that the real answer to that question is, if he wins, if Gunther wins, the show will still be about Cody Rhodes. Like that feud will be the top thing on the show for the next until SummerSlam, right? I mean, they'll just carry it on. So maybe that would be the idea. You think between Jacob Fatu and Gunther, who is more likely to win?
Jacob Fatu. I'd probably say Jacob Fatu is
really?
Is the most. Yeah, he's probably the most.
I guess that's the way you would guess, go from the storyline, but still I feel like it's not a non-zero chance that Gunther just wins. They just do a titles and maybe they flip it back to Cody next month or at SummerSlam or like whatever, Cody chasing is definitely more interesting. And despite the fact that Cody will go out and have a great match, the Sami Zayn match, it's Ricky Saints match. He'll go out there and have these bangers, but like, it does feel like Cody's in some ways like a little bit set. Like, he's not in a Codyverse, but he does feel a little bit separate from a lot of the stuff that's going on in SmackDown. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. I mean, he is, he's the champ. And
yeah.
There's certain people you got to avoid with him so you don't tie back into other stories. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. It's weird. With
like
Cody.
when I was growing up, it was like Cody Rhodes should be out there breaking up every beatdown. He's your local champ. He's your champ, like every time the MFTs are going nuts, he should be out there like, taking a swing at the MFTs, but he's not. He's doing his own thing.
I do kind of feel like this is a non-finished match. Like, if there was a spot for like, I don't know, like a Drew McIntyre return, like that could be it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean? Like I'd be into Drew, Gunther, Cody, you know what I mean?
Triple threat, yeah.
For the WWE Championship.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be with that.
Say less. That's the, let's have a contest to see what spin-off match from like what the follow-up match is going to get me most excited. All right. So you can pitch whatever you want. All right. Do we all have Cody on that one? Thumbs up from Bruce? No. Cody's officially picking. I mean, Bruce is officially picking Gunther. You can get on Mike, Bruce.
Yeah. Well, so the thing for me is with everything they've been doing for Gunther, like to have him lose to Cody, I don't know. That would stall a ton of momentum. But on top of that, didn't it kind of feel like we were going towards Roman versus Gunther at the beginning of like right after Mania? And
well,
then
no, it felt like Oba. Yeah, but Oba did that, called him out or whatever, and that was sort of
there were
the
a couple
end of it.
things.
But yeah,
but at least if I remember correctly, it felt like we were getting Gunther and Roman, and then it kind of moved. They moved him over to SmackDown with Cody, and it's like, well, if Roman's going to beat Jacob Fatu, why would you change that from Gunther to Jacob? And so it's like, if he was going to lose, why wouldn't he just lose to Roman rather than coming over and losing to Cody? So I'm like, I think he's going to win.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go with Cody. I'll let you be the bold outlier on this one. But that's, it's not crazy. I do think that at some point, WWE has to get a little bit cognizant of the Cody boredom issue, right, Gaz? I mean, don't you think that, like, this is a constant conversation in creative meetings? Like, how to keep Cody from going stale on us again?
I'm not necessarily sure. I'm not necessarily sure if it's Cody's fault that it's boring. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think it's Cody's fault. It's just, how do you book a white meat, white bread baby face?
You give him some shades of gray, like.
Oh no, I know there's an answer, but it's just the position he's in now is it's the fault of that, not of Cody particularly. All right, so. Well, obviously, Bruce, you would say that Gunther's got better odds than Jacob Fatu based on your picks. I don't know who I think I would pick. I think I would say Gunther is more likely than Jacob, but I can't totally disagree with you there, Kaz. All right. Women's Championship match. Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. This is a good one. I mean, I swear, Jade looked great the last time they fought, but like, it's not even about ring work. This is just standing in the ring next to each other. Holy shit. I mean, they do a good job of capturing that on SmackDowns and whatever. Who do you think is going to win? Rhea or Jade?
I get the feeling Rhea's going to retain,
Yeah.
I'd love to see them try and top what they did at WrestleMania. I thought their match was really underrated. It was really good. But, it'll be difficult to see Rhea Ripley drop the title so soon after just, taking it from Jade. I'd be surprised. I'd be happy about it, but I just don't see it happening. I'm going to go with Jade. I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley to retain and, clean and easy finish, man. I don't think we get any turns. I don't think we get any interruptions. Like, I think we get like a straight up dub.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't even considering a turn either, but it's the easiest layup in the world to have the baddies be like, "No, we were never your friend," to Jade, right? Like that could be easy enough. But yeah, I think we're going to hold. We're going to hold serve here. I don't think anything big is going to change. Although it is worth opening up as we go to the last two matches on the card. That like all of these matches are either WrestleMania or Backlash related. Right? They're all spin-offs of like existing matches or Saturday Night's Main Event. Sorry. But they're all, I think, right? With the exception of Cody Rhodes versus Gunther, which we have seen them in the ring together, everything is basically a rematch of a match we've seen before. So doesn't something interesting have to happen to save Clash and Italy from seeming like the world's biggest house show?
Nah, I mean, I think the matchups itself are just really good. And if you could just deliver on the matches,
sure.
I don't think you necessarily need to have like a big return or a big heel turn or
not a big heel turn, but
I'm
like
sure we'll get something like that.
Like one of these matches has to go the other way, I guess is what I'm saying. Like it's either got to be Jacob or Jade or Sol Ruca or Brock Lesnar. Right?
I mean, they've been teasing the whole Charlotte thing, like I feel like it wouldn't make a ton of sense to have this whole Charlotte Rhea, tension with Alexa.
Well, they were. I totally agree, but they were so friendly after their last match. Like they had,
they were.
They were like hugging
friendly,
and stuff.
But I mean, gosh, Charlotte was talking with us a few weeks ago, and she definitely doesn't sound like somebody who's cool just being in the tag team division for the rest of her career. Like
we actually did. That was on my list of questions. Not are you cool with being a tag team wrestler, but basically, are you cool with being a tag team wrestler? She certainly seems to be enjoying herself more than in previous years. So hopefully, I hope that she's if being in a tag is part of that, and I bet it is a different level of pressure and mind headspace and everything else. But if that's the case, I bet you it wouldn't shock me if she hung around there more. But I think I said before, Charlotte versus Jade versus Rhea Ripley triple threat at SummerSlam feels like a home run. I mean, wouldn't that would just be incredible? Just like I said, just the visual aspect of it. But
and I have a hard time seeing Jade getting pinned cleanly again. You know what I'm saying? So like, I get a feeling Charlotte and Alexa is gonna figure their way into this match somehow.
Yeah, this isn't like protecting Andre the Giant, but sure, like Jade Cargill shouldn't be eating clean pins that much. It just diminishes the value of them when they happen when there's other ways out. So when we're complaining on Sunday that it was a cheap finish, remember, rewind the tape, Bruce. I said that I endorsed it. It's Rhea Ripley or non-finish, or I think I'm just going to go ahead and go with schmaz as like the third option here. Like it's just whatever a non-finish is in wrestling, get in the field basically of non-finishes. All right. IC Championship match, Becky Lynch versus Ruca.
I think Becky's going to retain.
Really?
I think Becky's going to retain. Like, Soul seemed like such a slam dunk on the main roster, and she still probably will be. But I think putting the Intercontinental title on her this soon might be a mistake. Like, it might. We still kind of don't even know who Soul Ruca is, really.
Agreed.
You know,
yep.
Like she's just kind of this cool, beautiful surfer chick with the cool moves, but we don't know her yet. We don't know how she responds to adversity. We don't know how she responds to victory. A lot of her matches have been non-finishes.
Well, and the surfer thing always felt a little bit like stuck on to me. Like I know that she is a surfer. I know that that's what a surfer would look and act like because she's a surfer. Like it's just like, you know, like a basic logical circle there. But like, I don't know. I just see it like, I don't know what I would expect a surfer wrestler to be. Well, haven't we had who are previous surfer wrestlers? Was Johnny Ace a surfer or was he a skateboarder?
I think he was a skateboarder.
Yeah, he was a skateboarder, but we got Surfer Sting.
Surfer. Well, he didn't really surf though, did he? He just looked. We just called him Surfer Sting.
Okay.
Who surfed? Oh, the Sandman wasn't the. I think the Sandman was originally a surfing gimmick.
The Sandman did not surf, Dave. The Sandman, the beard, kendo stick carrying Sandman.
Yeah,
was catching waves. Where was he catching waves that day?
I could be totally wrong about this. Let me
look it up. Nothing about the Sandman screams out hang 10.
Yes. In April 1992, he arrived an Eastern Championship wrestler as a crowd favorite. His gimmick was a surfer carrying a surfboard and wore a black wetsuit with blue and pink lines.
He
won his first EC. That's why he's called the Sandman, I guess. He won his first ECW. He won his first ECW championship from Don Morocco, Mr. the Magnificent Morocco, in 1992, but lost it back to him in 93. And at the end of 92, he changed his name from Mr. Sandman to the Sandman.
I'm not going to lie. That is probably the most shocking wrestling news I'll hear in quite some time.
No, that's totally
Sandman
true.
Had nothing to do with Metallica, Sleeping, or Mariano Rivera. It was just sand. That's why they called him that. I'm shocked.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. This section is called Surfer and Pimp. I guess he was a pimp gimmick at some point following this. Famous pimp.
The Sandman was also a pimp. You know what? This man had way too many wrestling jobs. I believe none of it.
And we just saw on the WrestleMania weekend wrestle the Invisible Man to just a standing ovation from the crowd.
Bro, I called a Sandman. We had Sandman at Fourth Rope in the ECW arena. You know what I mean? Like one of the best times of my life was calling a Sandman entrance to enter Sandman. I was losing my shit. But I did not know this brother had so many jobs. Okay, I'm shocked and appalled.
So yeah, I think that's the answer. Soul Ruca needs to carry around a kendo stick and a beer can and have a cigarette coming out of her mouth. Now that is a wrestler I can get behind.
Anyway, I think
Soul's going to win. And it's, for me, as simple as like they changed it to a non-title match at Saturday night's main event. Like it was supposed to be a title match. They took that away for some reason. in my mind, it has to be, oh no, let's just run this back at Clash. And so we're not going to have the title change until then. But, you know, and you said, and yes, it is a lot to put on a wrestler that young and that new to the main roster, but like, you could have said that about Randy Orton. You could have said that about, you know, like whoever, right? And Trick Williams, shit. And she's the person of all of these call-ups. She's the one that you want to, you know, put the spotlight on and say like, yes, we're calling our shot here. She's winning the IC title so that when she wins the world title at WrestleMania in 6 months or 8 months or, you know, a year and a half, then you won't be shocked. She's that kind of wrestler. And she's done a good job, man. I mean, she's still got some work to do on her promo, but I think that part of that is just bringing out her voice in a loud way. And she didn't seem out of place against Becky Lynch, who's the greatest talker in women's wrestling history, probably. Anyway, I think Soul's going to win. Bruce is looking at this guy like he's suddenly on the spot.
Now, you had said best women talker ever, and I was just trying to think about who else is on that level. But yeah,
Sherry. I mean, Sherry's on the list, but like I knew her as a talker. I mean, as a mouthpiece. I mean, as a manager, not as a wrestler. Yeah, not people who incidentally wrestled. You know, like real wrestlers. There's probably somebody that's totally obvious.
No, but she's up there. I mean, yeah, gotta love Becky on the mic. But yeah, I think I'm with you, Dave, that I don't know exactly which way I think it's going to go, but I'm trying to figure out how the non-title match being at Saturday Night's Main Event affects it. Because my thought was if you were going to have her win, maybe have it be on the show where she'll probably get more time.
Saturday night?
I can see that.
Yeah, so I was like, why would you change it originally? But like, I can see your talk as well. Like,
but there's only 5 matches on this show. I know it's standard for modern WWE, but there's always a lot of room in those shows. No matches really have to run short, you know? And inevitably one of the matches will be schmozzy, not necessarily like 30 seconds long, but like, you know, yeah, I don't think this is going to be a squash match. Although that could be the funniest way to run it. Just have Soul beat her in like 30 seconds. That way Becky Lynch has the excuse. Oh, you know what's, by the way, they're reheating the Jessica Carr thing. That's what I forgot to mention. I think that we're going to Becky Lynch versus Jessica Carr, and what the only way it's such a clean way to take the title off Becky and have her in her next feud in 10 seconds to have Soul win, have Becky blame Carr, and have Becky versus Carr at Night of Champions or I guess you could push it off to SummerSlam or like whatever. I mean, that's a big match. I don't think it's a SummerSlam match, but I mean, it's a Saturday Night's Main Event match, but they're not going to do it that way. Were you alive? You guys weren't watching wrestling when referee Danny Davis started wrestling?
Sounds familiar.
No, it was way back in 84, which I can't believe I even remember it. When he basically, the referee Danny Davis turned heel and then started wrestling with the Hart Foundation. He was buddies with Jimmy Hart and everything. It was a very weird thing. And also the weirdest part about it as a kid was that at some point the angle was over and he just went back to being a referee. Like Jack Tunney no longer had an issue with his honesty or whatever. Like very, very strange. Anyway, referee gimmicks don't generally last long, although, you know, the vast majority of referees are former wrestlers, so there should probably be more of them, especially with the wonders neck surgery is doing these days. I'm going to pick Sol Ruca. So who's your official pick, Bruce?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Sol Ruca. As you said, I'm going with you for the whole, you know, they had the first match. Why not have it happen there? Because it'll happen here.
And one more match on the card. Maybe the hardest match to pick. Femi versus Brock Lesnar. Femi, Lesnar 2. I mean, conventional wisdom
Does WWE have the balls? Does WWE have the balls to have Femi destroy Brock Lesnar again? Like,
right, this is where I'm thinking too. But go on, finish what you're going to say.
I was about to say, like, you thought that WrestleMania was something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If I don't know. The one thing that I think people had the biggest issue with Brock Lesnar coming out of retirement for was that they probably thought
they got worked.
It was perfect. It was, well, yeah, that too. But like, it was a perfect sort of like passing of the torch to like the next big thing with Femi. Another way to do it though, man, is to really have this dude, you know, dominate him. And again, on the other side, you got to be cognizant of like, okay, eventually we got to see Femi take a L and see how he responds to that. And I guess
Brock's
sort of the understated.
Brock's an easy way to do it.
He's the easiest way to do it. You know what I mean? Like he's the only person that would make sense for him to get that first main roster loss against. So
that's a good point.
I mean, it sucks. Like if you were like really happy with the way WrestleMania went, but at the same time, one of my biggest worries coming out of WrestleMania is that like, okay, he beat the biggest, baddest dude on the planet in his first WrestleMania. Where do we go from here? You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of need to spin the block at least once, you know, like you kind of have to. But it doesn't shock me.
I guess for me, it's that we were all expecting, those of us who didn't believe he was fully retired, that Brock Lesnar and Femi would run it back at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the biggest show, right? Now, obviously, we've said, as I mentioned before, they're booking Clash in Italy like it's a WrestleMania. It's just that there's 5 matches, and probably it'll feel like a house show when we're done on Sunday. You know, like, but in terms of the card, it's hard to imagine a bigger 5-match card than this in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
But SummerSlam would be the obvious place for the rematch. So when he made his shocking return on Monday Night Raw, the thing that occurred to me is, you know what? Maybe it works. Maybe the SummerSlam match works even better if Oba beats him again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like have Oba just like, okay, we're all expecting Brock to get his win back. It's going to be cool. And then Oba just demolishes him. Just like maybe Oba wins. Do you
think it's because they feel like Brock's going to get cheered wildly in Minnesota and they want to at least build up some sort of like sympathy for Brock coming home to finally beat this guy?
Yes, but actually the reverse. I think they probably feel like they owe it to Brock to put him over as a babyface in his last match. If he wants to do it, you know, like whatever. And yes, let him get his cheers in Minnesota. I don't think it's going to be hard. I think you're right. He'll get cheered organically to some extent. And I think now that we've worked past I think one of the real smart things about bringing him back here, if again, this is all part of the plan that only I am imagining, a smart thing is to get the booze out of the way. Now, obviously Brock's getting the booze out of the way is sort of the story of the past like 2 years of Brock's career. And it's not necessarily a compliment, but like it's, but I do think that it's like people are going to be, maybe not logically, but they were inevitably going to be upset when they feel like they were worked by Brock Lesnar's retirement, right? So we'll get that out of the way now, and so he doesn't have to worry about getting those reactions at SummerSlam. If indeed this is where it's going, who the hell knows? I think Brock losing twice and then saying like, no, I'm not going to retire. I got one more in me. You know, I'm going to do this, and then they can do the Rocky training videos and. What is? I don't know what his is. Just punching slabs of meat in the you know, hanging on the hook. I guess I don't know what those Brock Lesnar's doing. But yeah, and just have it be one big last match, and I'm doing it in my hometown, and it's going to be great. That would be that would be my expectation. I honestly assume that the betting lines are way in favor of Brock.
Yeah,
Bruce,
can
you Google the betting lines if you can run through them real quick, Bruce? And I do think Brock is the smart pick. But I sort of feel like it's going to be Oba. So again, I'm as torn as I am on all of these. Wait, if you were going to do a stone cold lock, Kaz, would it be Rhea Ripley retaining? That feels like the closest thing to a lock on this card.
Yeah, it would be. I mean,
you might really believe in Becky Lynch or whatever, but like, you know, in terms of like the conversations we've had, that's the closest thing to one that we all agree on.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'd almost probably say Roman is the second closest lock because I still am not. I don't think we really got true clarity on Roman's June schedule. So, like, whatever happens on Clash in Italy, I'm willing to bet it's going to put Roman out for a long time, at least a month. Is it going to be
with or without the title?
With or without the title, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it going to be because he lost the title and he's gone? Is it going to be because he got the shit kicked out of him and he's gone for a month? But I'm almost positive we're not going to see Roman for the entire month of June. And this Italy match might be, you know, the last time we see him until it's time to rev up for, you know, the pay-per-view after Saudi, because I'm almost under the impression Roman will not be in Saudi. We'll see, man.
It did feel like that was all sort of a cover up, right? That when they announced that, they're like, no, we just hadn't talked about his schedule yet, whatever. And then it was like, no, I think that he's just never going to, I think he's taking a lot of time off. I don't disagree. I like the idea of him taking some time off. It's kind of funny to think, and again, SummerSlam is not 2 months away. It is 3 or 4 months away, right? But we're still targeting SummerSlam with so much of the booking now. It would be, regardless if it's SummerSlam or Night of Champions or a thing after that. But it would be funny if SummerSlam was another just all these matches again, right? If it's just we're just in rematch season right now. Because you could definitely see Roman Jacob going to SummerSlam, right? If Jacob, whatever happens, Roman gets put out and he makes it back in time for the rematch. You could totally see Cody and Gunther going again, particularly if Gunther wins. So you could certainly see some version of Rhea and Jade going again, which, by the way, is the closest thing we have to a lock, and also the match that we called for a non-finish, which is just, I guess, the greatest. Well, I guess we'd call that ironic back in the day. But we talked about putting Charlotte in that match and doing that again at SummerSlam. Becky versus Ruca, I don't think is going to happen again at SummerSlam, but it very well may. Becky might just go fight the referee and be back against Sol at SummerSlam, and but Brock were already counting down the days till they fight at SummerSlam. So anyway, it would be hilarious for Brock Lesnar if his final match was Clash in Italy, and that's just on his resume for the rest of time. Just the least Italy. The last guy in the WWE roster you'd expect to say, "Oh yeah, I'm taking the family to Italy this summer." But anyway, all right. Which of those matches are we looking forward to the most? Kaz, go.
I mean, it's tribal combat, like it's tribal combat. Every tribal combat match has had something happen, like it almost feels like something has to give. And the story they've been telling with Jacob Fatu is that, like, okay, all the things, tradition isn't his strong suit. Like, he's not just going to fall in line. Like, all of these rules, all of these traditions, all of these things that have been established in the heritage of the Fatu, Anuai, bloodline, Samoans, all that type of stuff. Jacob doesn't adhere to any of that shit. All right. Wow. So I think they spent the last couple of years establishing things like tribal combat and the bloodline and acknowledging me and the Ulafala and all this type of stuff. And Jacob Fatu was sort of brought in to be the outlier to all that stuff. So yeah. I'm really interested
for all the new viewers that don't understand the lore, Jacob Fatu kind of lets you avoid
his nose out of it. Yeah, he thumbs his nose at it. It's like, I'm a wild man. Like, I don't gotta adhere to none of that. So win, lose, or draw, I feel like that's gonna be the most interesting thing that happens on the show. And just seeing where Roman, Jacob, and the Usos take it from there is probably gonna tell a lot about SummerSlam, or just tell a lot about the World Heavyweight Championship, the most interesting World Championship on the show right now. And I would probably say right after that, the match I'm most interested in seeing is probably Becky Lynch and Ruca, because like I said, Ruca is somebody who I think we're all been very high on, but let's be honest, like these first couple of, cracks at the main roster hasn't been like the, whoa, this guy is it, this girl is it sort of, things that we saw with, unfortunately the bar has been set so ridiculously high with
that's it.
Trick Williams, Femi,
not just sort of thing. Not just that, but it's been set high by the women's division. That it's like there's only
Roxanne Perez. I mean, you got.
I mean, listen, Ruca is a physical freak, but but aside from being tall, her moves are in another stratosphere than what most of the other people can do.
Yeah, and it's not about the moves either.
Yeah,
it's not about the moves. It's just that she just has to have a good day in the office. Like the match has to be just something, a match where just nothing happens that people are like, it would have been good if, what I'm saying? It would have been good, but, like, she just has to have a match with no red marks on it. And then we can just be like, that's it. But
you're right. I mean, she's certainly able to have a really good match. And I guess the point that I was trying to make
in there with Becky Lynch, she's the best at taking offense. Like, that is her thing.
NXT is better at athletes like Soul than the main roster is because of the smaller venue and the camera work is slightly different. Like you feel like you're underneath the moves sometimes in NXT. You know, when she's doing the Soul Snatcher, when everybody does their crazy like you know, athletic death defying moves, it looks cooler. It looks more electric on NXT. And it's hard. I think it's hard for Soul because she is a physical freak, but she doesn't look like China, you know, like whatever. And doesn't even look like Charlotte or Jade Cargill at this point. And she's not small enough to come over and to get over as like a giant killer. I think it's just a little bit harder with the roster the way it is to prove how great she is in the way that she was able to establish in 15 seconds in NXT. But I think she's a done deal. All right, we got betting odds now. All right. Cody and Gunther both have the exact same odds. They're both at minus 120. That's pretty crazy. Especially because the one that we said was the toss-up was Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. Rhea's at minus 900, Jade's at plus 500. So I guess Cody Gunther is the closest thing to a toss-up because that is just a toss-up. Roman Reigns is minus 500, Jacob Fatu's plus 300, about where you'd expect it. Brock Lesnar minus 300, Femi plus 200. Ruca minus 350, Becky Lynch plus 225. If I was going to place some ill-advised bets, I would definitely bet on Femi. And next, probably, I don't know. Did I pick Jacob Fatu? I guess I'm obligated to pick him. I don't know. It's a toss-up. That Cody Gunther line is really weird. I can't even. I don't follow betting lines for wrestling that closely, but like I can't even think of what the last toss-up was or would have been. It's pretty incredible. Oh yeah, Noche de los Grandes is this weekend too. The War Raiders are down there working. War Raiders versus Pagano and Psycho Clown, two absolute legends. Vikingo versus Dr. Wagner Jr., who is just who I love. And looks like such a freaking beast next to Vikingo. And El Grande Americano versus original El Grande Americano. The new El Grande Americano, the one who may not have been recently arrested and bailed out by Gunther, is at minus 500. The original is at plus 300. That sounds right to me because I think we said it a million times. It makes so much more sense to unmask Chad Gable and force him to figure out what's going to come next, and he'll be able to do it because he's hilarious and wonderful. You just don't end the El Grande Americano gimmick, the new El Grande Americano gimmick, as well as it's working in Mexico and in the United States. He's just too good. He just got a fucking mural painted of him. Let's not mess with success, right? And can American fans get it together? Like, can we get it together? Can we to cheer for the right one?
Can we cheer for the right one when he comes back? Like, it's so crazy. Like watching him on Raw, they get a decent to like little no reaction when they come out, and then they go to Mexico and they get treated like the fucking Beatles, and it's just like,
well, it is being played for comedy in the U.S. To almost exclusively. And they've dumbed it down a lot in the U.S. I think probably just to appeal to a younger demo, like whatever. But it does feel like the fact they start calling him the original El Grande Americano and instead of letting there be confusion. When they brought out the Creed brothers, they didn't do anything to like. They kind of have given up on the announcers being confused, like performatively confused, and that to me is the best part. You know, so maybe that's part of why it's not working. But we should get it together. It would make a lot more sense. Also, can we get Chad Gable? And I'm sorry, dudes. I'm not doing kayfabe for this. It's too confusing. Maybe Chad Gable can borrow the gimmick of Neil Mascaras and just have like 100 masks on at one time, you know? So like when they try to unmask him, he's got another mask underneath, and there's a lot of history there and legacy.
Or he did a Sting gif where like, he comes down.
Oh, he has the plastic mask.
He has another mask.
Well, I was watching, somebody posted online. I don't even know where I was watching this last night, but I was watching the one of the shocking Sting versus NWO moments where a dummy dressed as Sting, do you remember this, drops down from the ceiling and goes through the ring floor for some reason?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they pull out, it is clearly like a mannequin. And then when they pull him out, now it's actually Sting, but the NWO doesn't realize it yet. So they just toss this mannequin, they think, against the front rope so Hogan can slap it in the face. And then it turns out it's Sting. It was the actual Sting. Just fantastic stuff. And I think that whole thing happened during who was it? It was DDP versus, was it Scott Hall? It was just some like DDP versus NWO member match. And then the whole NWO made the run in, and it was just great. Just great. We spent like a year being entertained by just run-ins in every single show. Things have changed. Is that it? Did we get through everything? Is there not a secret AEW pay-per-view this weekend? Oh, well, here's a question for you. Which match will be more brutal? Tribal Combat or the Philly street fight we saw Wednesday on Dynamite between Sheeta and Statlander?
Roman doesn't do color, brother. So I'm gonna go
exactly. And by the way, part of it was that it was a women's match. Part of it was just due to the excellence of Stat and Sheeta. But man, that match looked like it hurt. Like every bit of that match looked like it hurt. That was a whole lot of fun. What else happened on Wednesday? We were talking about Kevin Knight before we came on the air. What a great promo from Kevin Knight. What do you think?
Yeah,
This is exactly the right thing.
He said everything I said he should say.
Yeah.
He did everything I said he should do. I'm a fan of it.
You think he's listening to the show and taking notes?
Oh, he listens to the show. I know this for a fact.
He also seems to have grown 4 or 5 inches by turning heel. Like he's so much taller.
He was
than
always
Speedball.
Tall.
I know, but he always just sort of looked
next to that dork Speedball.
But that should make him look taller. Now he's just towering over him. You're right. Perception. Listen,
dork osmosis. It's like when you stand next to a dork, you just seem more dorky. Once he's by himself, it's like, wait, is he 6'4"? It's like, yeah. Big guy.
What else? Ospreay and the Death Riders together, that still doesn't make sense, but it's really fun. I mean, it makes sense. Like they're telling us why, but deeper sense. KJ's back. Your favorite tag team is finally reunited. Are you excited?
Who?
TJ?
Brother.
Tay Mello and Jay, what's her fucking name?
Anna Jay.
Yeah,
Anna
exactly.
Yeah, I guess we'll leave that in.
Yeah.
They won. I guess they're gonna fight the tag champs now. The Twin Towers or whatever they're called. Yeah, they'll be fighting them. By the way, notable, TJ looked great in their return, but they pinned Dave Everett and in doing so protected her partner, Alley Catch, who's one of our greatest living pro wrestlers. Big shout to Alley Catch. Brody King over Claudio. What else? Is Brian Cage my favorite wrestler? He's so good and just looks so much like a wrestler. And now that he doesn't have the mohawk anymore, he's like, marginally less like awesome when you're like 8 years old, but probably more awesome in general now with the beard. I don't know, man. Every time I see him wrestle, I'm like, oh, this guy again. And then he gets in there. I'm like, no, he can go. It's great. So congratulations to him. What do you think about Roosh? Just in terms of do you like him as a wrestler scale? You're shaking your head?
He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
But he's got a little catchphrase. He's got a world title match with MJF next week.
He's got a new catchphrase.
I've never thought about Roosh more than that, to be honest. Like,
here's the thing about Roosh. He has a vibe. Some correlation of the it factor that we always talk about. Where like when he comes out, he feels different than all of the other wrestlers. Right? There's like a uniqueness about him that really matters. Like he comes out on the stage and you're like, oh, it's Roosh. I haven't seen him wrestle in 18 months, but like that's Roosh. I know right who that is. Physically, he looks a lot different.
Guess. Yeah,
but he he looks physically a lot smaller, a lot less Brian Cagey out there is one way of putting it. But I guess it doesn't really matter as much in AEW. That was kind of his gimmick for a while, though. Is like in that family, he was the one that was just like ginormous. But yeah, he's an interesting choice, but I'm not mad at it. It's weird that they're giving him a title match though, because like, dude, that family will fucking shoot on you, man. Like
they will.
They'll go outlaw, man. They could just start running around the world with the AEW world title and running their own little like outlaw promotion. My expectations for the Rascals right off the bat weren't super high, but it is interesting to see that just the career arc of some of these people that have gone back and forth. They set up a Ciampa versus Jericho feud, which is the feud I didn't realize that I really needed. Like, is there anybody better for Jericho to be feuding with at this point than Tommaso Ciampa? Unless you're a Ciampa stan that's just like he belongs nowhere but the main event. Like, I feel like this is that's exciting for a Jericho match in 2026, right?
Mm-hmm. It is. I mean, Jericho's been doing well since his return, and Ciampa's found new life in AEW. He's already got 2 of the best matches they've had all year. He's probably going to get a great one out of Jericho. So it should be interesting, man. I'm a big fan of the cycle.
Yeah, because he's comparable in size, but so much stronger than a lot of the other dudes his size that like he's actually a perfect physical matchup for Jericho. Yeah, was that it? Is that pretty much it? Oh, Andrade versus Ace Austin was really good. But that was just your quintessential, a really good AEW match that like, might have been the match of the year in any other promotion, but very, very good. Yeah. Oh, and Mark Davis over Jungle Jack Perry. That seemed like an obvious one, but we talked a little bit about why that matters. We'll come back to Jack Perry wrestling in Sabu pants and no shoes. Didn't fare well, but shouts for him for knowing his history. All right, we got SmackDown tonight. It'll be tape delayed, so by the time that you're listening to this, you can probably Google the results. Cody, they have not announced very much. Cody is going to address Gunther or Gunther's attack on him, and Jade Cargill has a final message for Rhea Ripley. So basically, we've been guaranteed 2 promos. Maybe they'll bring out a bunch of Italian celebrities, Italian wrestlers.
Maybe.
Are there famous Italian? I guess it's just the FBI. It's like Italian American.
Santino, the FBI, and Liv Morgan. You should be good money.
Shout out Francesco Akira in New Japan. Little Italian fireball.
Oh, Julia's Italian. She's half Italian, but apparently doesn't speak Italian. She's just half Italian. So, but maybe they love her there. This might be the moment for. And Julia got the new hair or the new old hair. She's just like a no more braids, bleach blonde again. So I think this is a good. This is Julia season, guys. I'm just make sure you're ready for it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, well, that's it, man. That's a weekend of wrestling. You excited?
Yeah, man. Enjoy Clash in Italy this weekend. Yeah, should be a fun weekend of rap.
If I get my hands on a private jet, Kaz, I'll let you know.
Please do, but it'll have to be after 1:00, man. I gotta do my speech
on Sunday.
Yeah,
or
Clash
Saturday.
In Italy Saturday. It's Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, Clash is Saturday. Why do I keep saying Sunday? Oh, because fucking Double or Nothing was on Sunday, and I got it in my head. Yeah, Clash is Saturday. Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna have to get the Concorde out of the garage then, because we won't have a lot of time to get there. Because it starts at 2, right? 2 East Coast. I think that's right. 2:00. So you'll just go straight from the freaking commencement to where are you gonna watch the show? Local sports bar?
I have no idea, but probably back home. I'll just bust it back home by the time.
So you got a busy day. You got to.
I'm not gonna. We'll see. I'll probably watch it by the time it's over. We'll see.
Yeah, that's right. But you've got a big day. You got a commencement. You got a Western Conference Finals game that's gonna matter a lot for your Knicks' future.
It matters, but it doesn't. Whoever plays the Knicks are gonna lose in 5.
That's
5.
Great.
5 is being generous.
This is crazy.
You're crazy. No, I'm not crazy. All you guys glazing the Western Conference are crazy. These guys have been beating each other up.
I don't think that I know the definitive answer. I at least have some some
I
humility.
trust the
in
guys. I trust the guys who haven't lost the game in a month to continue doing what they've been doing.
this. Point of comparison: I haven't lost a game in a month either, dude, and I haven't touched a basketball.
There you go.
Which is basically the same as Mitchell. You know, yeah, he hasn't touched a basketball in a month either. Anyway, okay, well, that'll be an exciting weekend. We're just on today.
Sir.
Friday's a weird day to do a podcast, I guess. Anyway, enjoy Italy or whatever, wherever you guys will be over the weekend. Kaz, you want to get some plugs in?
Yeah, man. Catch me mornings with Mero every day, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on Hot 97 every day. That's my word. Catch me do episodes 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Carmelo Anthony, happy birthday, Carmelo. Happy 42nd birthday, bro. And new episodes coming out this week. And yeah, that's all I got.
Thanks to our producer, Bruce Baldwin. Thanks to our EP, Ben Cruz. Thank you all for listening. Pre-order my book, Why Hulk Hogan Matters, on Amazon or wherever you pre-order things these days. And yeah, enjoy Clash. We'll see you back here on Monday, for real this time. We'll be back on Monday, humans.
Peace.